Action. What's going on, everybody? This is your main man, Tech Supreme, back with another episode of Rent Free with Tech Supreme. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Hope this finds you well. Hope you had a good week and a half. This is the last time I posted the episode. I was supposed to do one last week, but got super busy. Illustrious Vision, super busy. So my apologies for that. So, the feedback for the podcast has been awesome. I appreciate everyone who was checking it out and giving me positive energy, positive feedback. It's a very undaunting task to do a podcast by yourself. I've always relied on other people when doing a podcast to kind of bounce energy off of. So right now it's just me and the camera, me and you, me and the microphone. You hear my voice? This is what it is. It's who I am. Without further ado, let's get on topic. I'm going to keep this episode a brief 20 to 30 minute episode. Last one, I went a little bit off of the original plan, but it is what it is. It's all good. So, the first thing that I've been thinking about lately, and it's something that I think we're all somewhat familiar with because of the last year that we've had. Food delivery. Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats. They're all scams, and they're horrible for businesses. They are horrible for customers. It's a mess, and I think it's gotten way out of hand. Like, some restaurants won't even use these services because they charge them so much money. They charge them money. They charge us money. It just seems like a bad idea. To continue to keep going. I feel like these food delivery companies are getting rich while restaurants are like losing money using them, even though when it was necessary, it was awesome, right? But now I think we need to. I don't want to be like because people gotta eat, people gotta work, and people make money off of these delivery services. It just seems like, for the most part, is just overcharging. And maybe now that things are getting back to normal, you can just drive down the street. But, it's a matter of convenience. We all know that things get overcharged for convenience. That's why Bud Light is like $12 at the stadium, because it's a matter of convenience. What are you going to do? You're at the stadium. You want a beer. You really have no choice. So this is one of those things. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. We got to use them. We need to use them, I guess, but it just seems a little bit more on the scammy side with the way they charge restaurants, the way they charge people, and then let alone let something bad happen, which every time I seem to order, something bad happens to the order. It's a nightmare. I think the other night DoorDash went down and people didn't get their food for 3 hours, and like the food's just sitting there. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Another thing that we were driving around, I forgot where we were going, where the commercial came on, and it was about, it's summertime, it's getting warm outside, don't leave your kids in the car. And so the commercial was geared towards that, right? Like, don't leave your kids in the car. And then it says, a tip, you should put something important in the back seat so you don't forget your kids in the car. And when I heard that, I fucking died laughing. Something important. Let's see, what could you put in the back seat that's important that you'd remember to get your kid? Something special to you, something that, it's like once in a lifetime, like artifact or something that, I don't know. How about your fucking kid? How about that be the reason that you know there's something important in the back seat? That shit fucked me up, man. Like, what could you possibly put in the back seat that will remind you that's more important than your child? Like, if you know, let me know. I have no idea what that could possibly look like. Yeah, I'm just checking out the volume real quick. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's actually insane. Like, yeah, just don't forget your kid in the car, dude. Like, just don't do that. Shit. All right, check. Okay. My audio is kind of all over the place this episode, so I do apologize off top. But if it sounds bad, we'll fix it in the next episode. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, don't forget your kids in the car. Like I don't have kids, so I can say how ridiculous it is, but I mean, I guess if you wanted to like low key kill them, I guess that's what you would do. I'm sorry to say that, but like, you should know that your kid's in the car at all times. It befuddles me. I have no idea how you forget that your whole child's in the back seat. I don't know. Put your cell phone. Maybe your cell phone's more important. Put your cell phone next to the kid. I don't know. I'm just trying to help. Yeah. So moving on. Dave's season 2 just premiered this past week. It's interesting. They did the first 2 episodes. I like the first season of Dave. I'm not sure if I like this season yet. The tones were different. It's definitely awkward. I think the one thing that they got from season 1 that they're ramping up is Gaeta. I think Gaeta is the standout, the star of the show. He's just kind of hilarious and great whenever he's on screen. And he's not even an actor, so it actually is his hype man in real life. So his story is just kind of awesome. So I like Gaeta a lot. I guess I'm just holding on judgment to like see how I feel about it. The first 2 episodes, not exactly sure if I felt it was like super dope, something I need to like definitely watch. You know, I'm going to watch it because I'm a fan of his music for the most part. But yeah, let me know what you think about Dave, if you like Dave or not. Lil Dicky. I think his rapping is amazing. I think his first season was amazing, was written really well, and I'm waiting to see that level of brilliance. One of the last episodes of season 1 was the breakup episode with him and his girlfriend, and the way they wrote the episode was one of the best written episodes of anything that I've seen. Like, they played a song in the beginning on their way to a wedding, and they were singing the song, him and his girlfriend, and she was trying to go and he was trying to finish the song, and they started singing and just freestyling. But then they play the song at the end after this like crazy like breakup episode, and those lyrics had such a complete different meaning at the end. It was genius writing. So if you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen any little Dave episodes, you should see that one. It's really good. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out on Dave season 2, see if you like it. So yeah, this weekend is my birthday. This Sunday is my birthday. And we're going to go to New Orleans for my birthday. Super excited about it. This is the first time that I've ever kind of gone out of town for my birthday exclusively. And this is like the first time that I'm going with a bunch of friends just to go kick it. And some of these people, some of my friends that are going, we've never really kicked it out of town a bunch. Of course, Sarah's going from, my homegirl Sarah Shell, who lives in LA now. She's going to meet us down there. So me and her have traveled the country together. So that's, we already know each other, is like how we're going to roll. Of course, me and my wife, we travel, so we're good. I've traveled a little bit with Nate, but not a lot. And his fiance, Aisha, I never traveled with her. And then Melanie, one of my best friends, Melanie's going too. Shout out to all of them for even being down with this adventure. Shout out to my wife for putting it together. I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a blast and a half. We're there for a good amount of time, and yeah, it's just going to be fucking dope. So yeah, I got my list of food. I was lucky enough the first time I went to, not the first time, but the last time I went to New Orleans, I was talking to, me and my wife were talking to Chef Rick Lewis at Grace, and he loves New Orleans, and he gave me a list of places that he, said to go to. So that last time we went to those places, and I had this, and just because he said that, because he had like a book, a little notepad that had like all these places he went. So I did that trip where I went, every place we went, no matter how drunk I was, shout out to me, whatever place we went to, I wrote down the name of the place, what I ordered, sometimes what Aaron ordered, and then like the address or something, and then like a little like emoji to like what I thought about it. And ever since I did that for that trip, I remember each thing. It kind of reinforced my memory. I remember each place we went to like that. So like it gave me a better understanding of where I was going. And I already have a list made up of people's suggestions of things I've seen on YouTube or food shows or places we're going to go this time, plus a couple of the ones we went last time. And I'm going to do the same thing where I write all the places down day by day, like no matter what. So that was, for me, that was really fun to do. And met some really cool people that last trip, so I think we're going to see a bunch of the same. The place we're staying at is super dope. That's going to be fun. It may rain the whole time, but that's fine too, because I'll be at a bar. That's where I'll be anyway. Eating and barring. That's not even a word, but that's where I'm going to be. So it could rain if it wants to. I kind of doesn't want to rain the whole time because we do have a pool, and it would be nice to take advantage of that. But if not, it's not the end of the world. So we're going to have a really good time. Looking forward to that. Look at me going through topics super fast. Let me know if I'm talking too fast. Comment down below in the YouTube video, or send me a message on social media at Tech Supreme if you think I talk too fast, because I'm from New Jersey, and if you listen a little faster, I won't have to slow down for you to catch up. That's a wonderful line from 50 Cent that I've always quoted, because I've always been told I talk too fast. But that's just what it is. One thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of on not the serious side, but more of like the creative side, is like the work ethic in the creative space, in creative genre. It's real easy when you create for a living to like get burnt out, right? You love what you do, you always love what you do, but like it's easy to kind of fall back a little bit and like get whatever it's a block or just a temporary like non-desire to create. And that kind of leads into work ethic, but I think where I was going with this when I first thought about it was that, like, and now this is an opinion I've always had, that generally speaking, super talented people don't have the same work ethic creatively as someone who is not talented. And it's kind of funny because people who are not talented, they work so much harder because they kind of know it. And it kind of like makes them a little bit complacent or like expecting, but I think it's the rare combination of someone who is super talented and super hardworking that breeds some form of success. Now, do I know for sure? No, because this is all like speculation that I've gone through all the years of me being a creative and knowing other creatives. I've seen a certain level of success, and I've also seen a large level of failure as well. Like, to be completely honest, like. But I think as you age and as life rolls, you change how you view success. Because if you told me, I don't know, I guess 20-year-old me where I'd be now, he'd be kind of happy about it, right? Like, I make money off of music. I make money off of being creative. I get paid to do things musically. I get paid to do things artistically. And I don't have a boss. Like, I am the boss. So, like, that is a win. But I think my work ethic has always come from the fact of kind of like, it was like imposter's syndrome or something like that. Like, I always feel like I'm not good enough, so I always want to work hard. Even though some would call me talented, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm as self-informed about like my own talents to know, to not work hard at it. Plus, like, I'm from the school, like, if you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't grind, you don't eat. And that's kind of like the truth, you know, in life. Like, if you, like, you know, I don't know. It's something I don't think you can, I don't know if it's taught, if it's an unteachable thing or is a teachable thing, or some people have it and some people just don't have it. But if whatever you do, you know, I think you always need to have the best work ethic you can possibly have and just grind out, even if it sounds undaunting. Because one thing that I did take over this last year was streaming on Twitch, and it's hard. Like, I see very minimal growth. I see growth, but it's very slow paced. And I've always been a long hauler, so like if I commit to something, I'll do it for the long haul. I'm not a quitter. But like that kind of drives me, that challenge, and even the challenge of doing a podcast with just yourself, that kind of drove me to want to do it, to want to like pursue it and keep going. Like, if it's easy, I really don't want it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how I've always been. But yeah, let me know what you think about work ethics and being a creative for all the people who are creative. And if you're not creative and you want to be, tell me why you're not. You know, tell me what's stopping you from being like in the world of creativity. One thing, I didn't do a ton of research on it, and I should have, but I did want to bring up some racial things. It's been a really big racial month, right? Juneteenth, which we'll get into after this topic, but I want to talk about, there's a case called Lindon Myeni, and let me see if I can not awkwardly kind of pull it up real quick so I can actually read you guys the story. And I think I spelled his name wrong, which is great. Okay. South African rugby player was living in the States with his wife. He's South African, he's black. He's African. And he moved to the States with his wife, who was a white woman, and then they moved to Hawaii because they felt like it would be safer for them. And within not too long of him being there, he gets murdered by the police. Now, the story, if I'm not reading it right now, I'm just going off of memory, but it's basically he had entered the home after a couple entered the home, took his shoes off in front. His wife says she thinks he mistook it for the place of worship next door, which is why he took his shoes off. The wife is screaming, the homeowner is screaming, and he's kind of seems out of it. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, and he leaves. But she's screaming the whole time. She's crying and screaming, and she fake calls the cops, and then she calls the cops, and she's crying and screaming. This guy's walking out. He's leaving. So he starts walking, and so let me tell you what the Hawaiian, the Honolulu, whatever police department said, that he broke into their house aggressively, was acting wild, and attacked the cops, and got shot. So then they released the body cam footage after pressure, and come to find out, he wasn't being aggressive. He was actually confused and apologized profusely to the couple. And then when they ran up on him, they didn't have any lights on. They just started attacking him. He starts fighting back. They shoot him. So that's Lindon Myeni. Rest in peace to him. And I hope there's I hope the truth comes out. But you already know how that goes. The next thing I want to talk about was Kevin Strickland. And I saw this on TikTok, one of the creators I follow. And I posted this on my story on Instagram. And my heart dropped when he said it's from Missouri. Because of course it's from Missouri. So back in the 70s, late 70s, Kevin Strickland gets arrested for a murder. He, of course, claims his innocence. They ain't hearing it. They put him to jail for 50 years. About mid-2000s, their key eyewitness recanted their story. And 2 people confessed to the murders. Those 2 people have literally spent the jail time already for this murder. So, with beyond a shadow of a doubt, Kevin Strickland is innocent. He is still locked up. Why? Because shitty Governor Parsons said that it's not a priority to release him right now. He's literally been in jail since the fucking 80s on some shit he didn't fucking do. And he's still in jail because it's not a priority. You can't make this shit up. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't understand how that is even possible. How like that, like common sense says, oh shit, for real? All that information? Let's let him go. Oh shit, like we got to pay him some money. Like all that seems like common sense to me, but for some fucking reason, Missouri. Here we are. Moving on, because there's not too much you can say about that, right? Like that's just shitty. Juneteenth as a national holiday. Now, I see a lot of mixed things about it. Like, some people are happy. Some people have been fighting for this. Some people are like, well, this is, like, not what we wanted. And I see both sides of the coin. It's weird because I've been knowing about Juneteenth forever. People that I know have known it forever. And in 2021, now it becomes, forefront of mainstream. Like, in the same breath where they're trying to stop race history being taught in schools, then they give us Juneteenth, the national holiday. They could easily just give us both, right? Like, let's talk about what happened. And the reason why it's 2021 and people don't know what Juneteenth is because they've always not showed history correctly. They've always tried to twist the truths and twist the textbooks to make it seem like, oh, it's all peachy keen. Like, it's just what it was. Like, I saw a video where a teacher was like, "This is how they teach our curriculum, how they tell us to teach the kids about slavery," and like it was completely whitewashed. Simple as that, simple as that. Calling slaves workers, and not wanting to include the race, like all that little slick shit they doing. If they were honest, of course, more people. It wouldn't take this long for people to know about Juneteenth. Like Juneteenth is something that we've all, like all the black people that I know. But I guess it's a step in the right direction. I don't know. It's obviously not what the majority of people wanted. I actually found out, and I got to do some research on this, that slave owners got reparations afterward for losing their property, slaves. So, people want reparations. I just want to live in a fair world which is not what we're living in. So that's where I stand on it. They can't even give us that, so I don't expect much. Someone asked me, I made a Facebook post about St. Missouri being the most racist state I lived in. And then everyone was like, how about this state? How about this state? How about this state? How about this state? Well, I didn't live in those states. I don't know. I told you this is, out of the 3 states I've lived in, this is the most racist that I've lived in. That's my experience. And then as I was talking to an acquaintance, he asked me, what can we do to stop this, like to stop the racism? And I honestly said nothing. There's nothing we can do. People benefit from the systems too much. They don't want to even recognize it. The best we can hope for is that as time passes by, more of the racist people die off, and the people who are younger, who can think past it, maybe they can, usher in the new generation. But even then, you have kids who are just racist as fuck too. So I don't know what the answer is as far as that is. Juneteenth is a national holiday. I guess I'm all for it. But that's don't be trying to give us pacifiers with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you fix these systems that you got in place. How about that? And then we'll talk about a goddamn national holiday. But cool, whatever. I think another thing is that we're gonna have to be mindful of like other cultures enjoying black culture more openly. Because we went hard on Cinco de Mayo. I don't fucking know. I don't want to see people wearing dashikis. I don't think I'm wrong for that. Like, I don't want to see, Karens and Kens wearing dashikis and shit. Talking about, what's up, my brother? Like, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't give no. But, I don't know. I guess go to the park and have a cookout on Juneteenth. I don't know. Because we celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We celebrate Cinco de Mayo and all that shit. So, yeah, just when you come into this space, be respectful about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to patronize. Don't try to be funny about it. Don't try to be funny acting. Don't try to play cosplay with black culture. Just respect it. Just be here respectfully. And there's ways to do it. People do it all the time. There's ways to do it. You can do it too. But, just be respectful. Okay, that's my race rant. Okay, not last thing, but Rick and Morty. Season 8 dropped. You know I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. Over to my left, your right, I have every single Rick and Morty Funko Pop that has ever been released. It's completely up to date. Sans 1, which is on its way through shipping. I got a Mr. Meeseeks tattoo on the hand. I love Rick and Morty. So, Season 5 just released last night. Loved it. Super excited about it. If you've never been into Rick and Morty, I remember the time, someone was like, you gotta watch Rick and Morty. And I was like, I'm not really into cartoons. Because I'm really not. And then I saw the first episode, and I was not sold at all. Took to the third episode, the Mr. Meeseeks episode. I think that's the third episode, in which I was like, okay, this is fucking hilarious. And I've been hooked absolutely ever since. I've bought each season, including season 5. I already bought that. Super excited, super fun. It's a very adult comic, cartoon. They talk about real shit. The writing is awesome. It's from Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon. The writing is top notch. And here's a fun fact. I'm gonna give you a couple fun facts. The person who wrote the season 5 episode 1 is the same person who's writing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and also the person who's writing Loki used to write for Rick and Morty. So those writers in Rick and Morty, they be on some super shit. Justin Roiland made a comment that he's like, why does Marvel keep stealing my writers? But they're definitely is really good writing, really fun, really funny, and really just a smart show. One thing I want to address, because my wife got on me, is my I don't like kids statement, which I love kids, but not enough to, I just don't want kids. So if any kid who hears me, who knows me, hears this, I don't not like you. I love kids. I just don't generally want kids for myself, and that's just and that's fine. I do like kids, so just don't think Tech don't like the kids. Tech love the kids. So that was just a correction of me misspeaking, so to speak. I got one more topic that's been on my head, and this is something that I've just thought about because I saw someone whipping some ramen noodles together. And then they made the post, it's like, ramen for dinner. It was like a nice thing, but they were doing the instant ramen, 68 cents a pack ramen. And I just wanted to say, I know this sounds really like pretentious, but like, don't say that you're eating ramen if you're eating that. Like, that's not the same ramen, right? Like, that's not the ramen to be like super stoked about, right? Like, actual ramen with the fucking broth that's been created over a couple of days, with the noodles made from scratch, and the sliced pork with the caramelization on it. Like, that's something you write about. But you got the packet. If your ramen has the packet in it, let's not post that. Let's not make that a thing where that's like, oh shit, you eating ramen tonight. Like, you're not eating ramen tonight. You're eating sadness tonight. And I thought, okay, that's fucked up. But I think I'm just scarred because as a kid, we kind of had to grow up on that. Like, that's like what we could afford. And so we're over that. So I'm a little ramen bougie, I guess. It's fucked up. Zenwich, if you ever get a chance, go fuck with Zenwich. They make the best ramen, and it's the same guy who owns Blue Ocean, and they've always had the best ramen to me. Just spicy beef ramen is just fucking to die for. And I'm not knocking the instant ramen, right? Because, like, yeah, you can make some shit with that, right? Because you just use the noodles, you can make some shit, you can add some shit to it, you can make a broth, you can do all those things. I'm not gonna knock it. But, like, make sure you're doing all that if you're going to post about it, right? Let's make sure, like, you're not just, like, throwing some shit in it, like some beef on the beef instant ramen and, like, oh, yeah, we eating good tonight. No, you're struggling still. There's 98 cents. But this sounds horrible. But I'm just saying, let's not post that. That's all I'm saying. If you disagree or you agree, let me know. That's fine. I'm open to all criticisms of my line of thinking. That's what Rent Free with Tech Supreme is. It's my thoughts, the fucked up things going on in my head, and I just make it available to you via video and via audio on streaming sites. And next week's episode will go off without a hitch. So I was supposed to record last week. Didn't happen. Now I'm recording now, which works out because I leave town this week again for my birthday. And my next episode would definitely talk a lot about New Orleans. I was kind of debating if I wanted to do an episode in New Orleans, but I kind of don't want to bring equipment with me like that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for checking out the video. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor. If you are listening on any of the streaming platforms, leave a review if you like it, because that helps me a ton. If you see it on YouTube, subscribe, first of all, because I need that. Subscriptions have been going up since we started doing this, and that's fucking awesome to me. Also, hit the like button on the video, and if you do feel so inclined, share it. Also, I'll be making clips that are kind of easily shareable on each topic. And also, feel free to let me know what you think should be on the show. Like, what do you want to hear me talk about? I'm just going to wrap this up. It's Tech Supreme. Thank you for listening to another episode of Rent Free with Tech Supreme. I will see you guys next time. Peace and much love. Rent free. Rent free.